Concerns of the Crosby fire spreading are forcing nearby hiking trails to be closed. As part of the Superior Hiking Trail that's closed between Caribou Falls and Kramer Road, as you see here marked in yellow, officials at the trail are working in coordination with the DNR and said these closures are necessary to keep hikers safe. On Friday morning, signage was put out on the trail access points leading to Caribou Falls and Manitou State Park. There are also reroutes on County Roads 7 and 8.
Doesn't necessarily see some of the higher traffic as maybe other locations on our trail, but yeah, we're still trying to take all the steps necessary to make sure people are informed and safe.
As of right now, there's no update on when the trail will be back open.